Hey everyone, thanks for Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and in today's video we're going to be playing through the next game in the Dark Tomb series, which is Bloodthorn Island. This is a brand new game coming to Kickstarter from Kaz Games. It is a 1 to 5 player game that takes roughly 20 to 40 minutes to play, and is either a fully cooperative game if you're playing 1 to 4 players, as each player will control a hero trying to defeat the mission they've chosen to go on, or in a 5 player game, the 5th player will control all the different monsters working against the other players, and then all the rest of the players will be playing heroes, again trying to defeat that mission. So in this video, I'm going to take you through playing through each one of the different missions included in this one to see if I have what it takes to make it through them alive. Now, I do want to point out a couple important things with this. First off, this is the next game in the Dark Tomb series, which means if you have any previous games in this series, each one of them, any heroes that are included in them, are cross-compatible. So if you have a particular favorite hero from one of the games, you can pull it into this game or use it in other games and be able to mix and match them, bringing your favorites or trying new combinations to see how they work in these new missions. Also, this is a pocket game, so you can bring this pretty much anywhere. I was able to play this one on a plane with an app using an app for the die so that I didn't have to roll the die, but I was able to get this on the little tray that you drop down in front of you, and I was able to put this on there, so you don't need a lot of table space with this one, and it plays very quickly, so you can even drop this down when you're waiting at a restaurant for your meal with your buddies or wherever you want to use it. It's very compact and really nice for those kind of situations. So from there, I do want to point out one other thing, that all the materials you see here are prototype materials and are subject to change and look a lot better than the final production copy of the game. So as always, if you find my videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we continue to grow, be able to produce this content. So let's go ahead and head to the table and we'll see how this one plays. Alright, so moving into the game, first off, let's go over the characters I've selected. So I'm going to play Lenara, and she is kind of a rogue fighter, and then I have Zen, who is an archer. So we'll see if these two are able to get the job done. From there, let's go ahead and move into the stage. So the first thing I have to do is reveal my stage objective card. So this is the South Docks, and this is stage 1. The old docks on the south end of Gora are engulfed in a cold fog. You are in desperate need of transport, and you must find the dock, a ship, in addition to defeating all monsters and revealing all tiles to complete the stage. So this is going to show me my stage setup. So with this one, I'm going to place out my stage card in the middle, and I'll go ahead and reveal that. And then I have to position the other 4 cards around it. And when positioning those cards, also kind of rotate them and change them around as you do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and place my characters on their starting positions. And at this point, I'm ready to start the game. So this particular mission is going to have me moving around and trying to reveal these different locations on the map to find out where the ship is. And then once I do, I also have to have items that are going to allow me to dock that ship. So we'll see how that all goes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off, and it's going to go in a clockwise pattern around the table, starting with my first character and proceeding to the next character, and then finally the stage turn is also going to get to take its turn. And this can be done, you can select this in any order or simply have each player roll the dice to determine the player's order for this. Alright, so moving into it, I have my archer first, and she has a movement of 6. So during a character's turn, first off, you're going to start by using that character's movement. And you can use as much as you want up to the maximum of that character's movement value. And you can also perform any free actions, which could be revealing new tiles, picking up items, dropping items, trading with other players, and so on. And then finally, after that, then you're going to choose one of the 4 actions to carry out. Now, you don't have to, but you also do want to mark the item that you have carried out, or choose to move that from its current position to another position, blocking out that particular action for the next turn. So with my archer, she has a movement of 6 spaces. So I could come down here and explore this tile here, or I can move over and check that one out or go up, however I want to do it. I want to go ahead and get this bottom one out of the way. So I'm going to move 1, and everything is done orthogonally, so I cannot move diagonally in this game. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to use a free action to reveal. And I found there's an item in here as well as a monster. So we're going to reveal the top monster card. And we have a Drizzle. And this guy has the triangle pattern for him, so we can identify who he is. And then based on the number of players is going to determine the number of hit points. So he is going to have 4 hit points. and pretty nasty at 12 armor, and he had +6 to hit. So he is definitely going to be hitting, but only doing 1 damage. So hopefully that will pay off. So I've only used 3 points of movement so far. So I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, and 3 to grab that item. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that as a free action since I'm top of it, and I'm going to gain the top item card. So this is a hypnotic. Hypnotize any monster and move it up to 4 spaces at your command. Uses a free action on any turn and discard after use. So I'm going to just go ahead and place that up there for now. And then as the action of my turn, I'm going to go ahead and do the guided arrow. So this one is going to give me a +2 attack, and I need to get at least a 12. With that +2, that drops it down to a 10. So let's see if I can get it. And I got a 9, so I was unsuccessful and I missed that attack, and I went ahead and marked it so I won't be able to use it during my next turn. From here, then it's going to pass over to the next player, so then Liara is going to go, or Lenara, and she has a movement of 5, so she's not going to quite be able to get down that far. She does have a sling that does give her a little bit of range though, so I'm going to go ahead and head down here to try to help out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then my range is 3 to 5 on this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just short again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, I am short. And so move 1 or 2 additional spaces before an attack. So unfortunately, I'm out of range on that as well. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and do the 3 extra points of movement. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. And that will take care of that. All right, so that is her turn, as there's nothing else she can do. So we're going to move over to the enemy turn. And the enemy turn has 2 different parts. First, it's going to carry out the seismic event. So you're going to roll the die. If you get a 19 or 20, all of the characters are going to take 1 damage. And I got another 9, so no effect there. And then each monster is going to activate. During a monster's activation, again, it's going to move and then perform an attack. And if on its attack it rolls a 1 through 5, it's going to flee 4 spaces instead. It's going to go by the shortest path possible. So I have a couple different options here. I could go 2 over to attack Lenara. I could go 2 up to attack Zen, or I could go 2 in the middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and settle for right in the middle. And then I'm going to choose my target, and I can do this in any way I want. So I'm going to go ahead and have a Zen take it. All right, so the monster's going to roll, and it got a 9 plus the 6 for 15, so it was successful, and it's going to do 1 damage to Zen. Okay, so from there, then we're back over to our character turns to start. So Zen is going to be next, and her only attack that she has right now is an arrow jab, which has to be directly adjacent to the target, so she's not going to move this turn, and I'm going to simply perform that jab. So again, I'm going to roll. And I got a 9 again, which is just short of what I needed. I needed at least a 10 to get through his armor. So unfortunately, Zen is going to miss again. And then we're over to Liara. So Liara is going to go ahead and try to do that double slash. This one is, again, has to be adjacent to the target. And it's a +2 for the initial and +0 for her second one. So the first one, I'm going to go ahead and swing. And she got an 18, so was successful and deals 1 damage to the drizzle. Next, she's going to go ahead and attack for her second and see if she can get that one as well. And she misses on a 4. So unfortunately, no damage there on that second attack. So moving back over to the stage turn, where again, we're going to do that seismic event. And it's a 5, so nothing. And then the monster is going to attack. And this time it's going to go after Liara. And I have to move her marker up there. So she's a 13 on armor, and it got a 3. So it's going to go ahead and move away 1, 2, 3, 4 as far as it can from the guys. As it rolled a 1 through 5, it's going to flee 4 spaces instead. So that's the monster's turn. So we're back over to the players to go. So Zen is up next. And again, now I have that guided arrow, which is a 3 to 4 space shot. So I could move over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am 4 spaces away. I'm going to go ahead and try that. And again, it's a +2, so hopefully I'll get a little bit better on this one. And I got a 10, so +2 is 12, which is just enough to get in there. Doing 2 damage to my monster. From there, then her turn is done. So we're back over to Liara to go. So with Liara, she is going to, let's see, She does have the sling, so I will go ahead and move back 2, and I will go ahead and try that. It's a +1, and it's a 7, so it is a miss, unfortunately. So her turn is done, and we're back over to the stage event. So the event is an 8, so nothing there, and the monster is going to move back up to get into contact and swing. And a 14 is more than enough to deal another damage, so Zen is going to take another one. All right, back over to us. She's going to go ahead and do that jab and skip over her movement. And she got an 11 this time, which is +2 is enough, and the Drizzle has been defeated. So his card or token has been removed, and her turn is done now. So then we're back over to Lunara. So she's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'll go ahead and do a dash. Let me move 3 more spaces. 1, 2, 3. To go and explore that. All right, end of the round. Again, the turn sequence is going to go off, a 15 to no effect. And then it's again back over to our characters. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take a couple turns off camera, and I'll be back a little bit later in the video to see how things are going. All right, so moving back in, we're ready to start with our characters again. So I've taken some more damage on Zen, so she's not doing super well. I'd love to get this heal off, so we'll have to see about that. I have my second enemy out, the Wolfman, and he's a little bit nastier. He can target multiple characters and do 2 damage each on those, so he is quite a bit nastier. So moving back over to my characters, with her, I've kind of stuck her in a corner, so I'm trying to keep her hidden for right now. And I'm going to go ahead and try to do that heal action again. So I'm going to need an 11 to 20 to pull this off. And I got a 15, so she does heal 1 point, so that'll keep her alive, hopefully a little bit longer. And that was her action. So moving over to Lunara, so I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, free action to pick up this. So I found a hook. So I have a hook and a pulley now. So that'll go away. So then we're at 3, 4, and 5. And I've already used my dash for the turn, so there's nothing else that I can do at this point. So I'm just going to clear that and continue on. Over to the enemy's turn. I'm going to roll for effect. Nothing's going to happen. And then my enemy is going to keep moving towards me. So he does not have range yet, as it is cutting through that wall, and that will count as blocking his line of sight. So his turn is done. And we're back over to the characters. So at this point, I think we just need to get up in there and try to do some damage. So I'm going to go ahead and move 2. So I have a clear shot to him. And I'm going to go ahead and take a shot with an arrow and see if I can get lucky. And it's a 7. So unfortunately, I missed with the +2 at 9. So she's done. And we're over to Liara to go. So 1, 2. I'm going to pick up that item. So let's see what that is. And I found some rope. So now I have everything that I need in order to be able to bring the rope or the boat to dock. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to keep going. So 3, 4, 5. I'm going to dash 1, 2. And I don't want to get into line of sight of him just yet. So I think I'm going to go right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll be able to get in there next turn. So my turn's done. Over to the stage turn. It's a 12, so no effect there. And then the Wolfman is going to attack. And it's a 9 + 4 is 13. So he misses her armor. All right, so it's back over to players. And I did use the guided arrow, so I'm going to go ahead and do a jab on this one. And it's a +2 again. It's a 5, so she's having a rough time of things. So her turn is done. And then over to Liara. Well, if I rush in there now, he's going to be able to hit both of us. But she hasn't taken any damage yet either. So it might be worth it at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go ahead and try to do the double slash. So it's going to be 2 separate attacks. The first one's a 19, so it does hit. And the second one is a 3, so that is a miss on that one. All right, over to the enemy turn is a 12. So nothing happens with the seismic event, and then the monster is going to target both of us now. And it's an 11. Plus 4, so it does hit both of us. Okay. All right, so back over to my archer. She's going to go ahead and try to do that arrow again. It's a 15, so it is a hit. And this one's going to do 2. All right, and then her turn is done. Over to Lenara. She is going to do the sling, so she's going to move back 1, 2, so she has some range to it. And it's just a +1, so I'm going to need a good number on this. It's a 13. +1 is a 14, just enough to take the Wharfman out. So I was able to defeat him before my other character went down. So that's a plus. And that will end her turn. So we're over to the stage turn. Is a 2. So luckily the seismic event does not happen. So then it's back over to us. So we're basically going to try to make our way over here. And Lenara has all of the items that we need. So she's the one that needs to get there. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit where my waypoint. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. And I'll use my extra 3 to get over there with dash. And then my other character, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't stop on her space. And then I'll go ahead and move 3 more. So there's the 1, 2, and 3. And I'm carrying the plank, so I'm actually at -1 anyway, so I couldn't have moved there to begin with. All right, seismic event is an 11. Okay, so I'm still alive. And back over to my character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I used the dash before, so I can't do it again. And 1, 2, 3, and I can't continue moving due to my plank. Reducing my movement by 1. It's another 1, so luckily nothing there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I can, because I didn't use it last time, so I'm going to move up. And I'm going to use all of these things. So use the rope to tow the ship to the dock. Must be on a space next to the dock cleat. Used in place of an action, discard after use. And the rope is also part of it. So that's that. And then the hook I didn't necessarily need, but I can use it to do an automatic hit on a monster and discard after use. But I didn't use it, so that's simply going to be discarded. But I was able to bring the boat to dock. So move it over and then we can board. And that is the end of mission 1. So at this point then I was successful. So it says on dock, you successfully commandeered a vessel and have determined it is seaworthy despite its age, appearance, and lingering stench. You rise the tattered sails and plot a course down the Shadow River towards the Harnage Sea. So now that this one's successful, then I can go ahead and get ready for the next mission. So with the next mission, I get to heal all the way back up. Both my characters. Any items that we're carrying are simply going to be discarded. And we'll go ahead and discard all of the different stage cards. And then we'll pick our next stage. So with this one, we are on the Shadow River. So this is stage 2. So this Shadow River is treacherous to leave the ship. If any part of the ship passes the end of the river, it will plummet down the Regra falls and the stage is lost. The sea ship rules, and align the dots on the cards on the card backs. So we have to connect them as we kind of move our way through this. All right, so there's that. And then these just kind of line up in a row. So we're going to be basically moving down the river and trying to traverse the treacherous waters. So can I get them all in here? Just need one more. There it is. Okay, that'll work. I'll just back her up a little bit. All right, so then we reveal. Oop, should be that way. All right, and then our characters will go in there. So we have the archer in the back and our character up here. All All right, and that is the river. So during each player's turn, that player can move the boat up to 3 spaces in any direction that that character wants. Then the boat will move forward 2 spaces on the river, and the dash action allows the player to move the ship 1 additional space. If the ship is adjacent to another tile, you can flip and reveal that tile, and then populate it as normal. So moving into it with Zen, she is going to, I think I'll just move up 1, and then the ship is going to move 2 spaces. So now that the ship is adjacent, we're going to go ahead and reveal. And we have our first stage here, our first part of this. So it's going to have a little treasure there and no monsters yet. So that's a plus. And so her turn is done, and I haven't done anything yet. So I'll go ahead and dash. Why not? Okay. So her turn is done. Over to Liara. Let's go ahead and just move up 1, 2, and 3. Then the boat moves forward 2 spaces, picking up that item. Now with items for the ship, we all have them, so we simply can use them as the players see fit on their turns. So this one allows the players to make a second attack on the same target immediately after the initial attack. Use with any attack, discard after use. So that could be great for the archer if she can make that guided arrow shot. She could fire a couple arrows and do some pretty good damage with that. All right. So that was the ship's movement, and then I could dash to move up. No, I think I'm good there. I'm just going to hold on to that and not take an action with her. So we're onto the stage to see what happens. It's a 14, so no effect there. And there is no monsters out right now, so we're back over to the characters' turns to take their turns. So with the archer, I'm going to go ahead and move. Actually, I think I'm just going to hold there and go back 1, actually. That way then the ship moves forward 2, which brings it in contact with the next stage card and flips it over. And we have a new monster out here, so we'll see what happens with that. And we have a trap ray. So with the trap ray, it has 4 hit points. And it can do 2 damage on a +3, and it only has an armor of 10, so it's hopefully going to go down quickly here. Okay, so that was the ship's movement. So then it's over to my character's turn to go. I'm going to go ahead and do that guided shot on a +2, so I just need an 8. And I got an 18, so way more than I needed. I'm going to do 2 damage to the trap ray. I could pop the net and fire off 2 more arrows, or another arrow to make another attack on 2. But I think I'm okay for now. I think I'm just going to hold there. So at this point, then the other player is going to go. I'm going to move down 1. And let's see, I could move up 1, and the ship's going to move forward 2, which would bring me there. And I'm next to the enemy, so I'm going to go ahead and attack with the double slash. So this is a 2-point attack. First one is a 19, so very successful. I do 1 damage there. Second one is a 15, so I will defeat the trap ray. Okay, so that is gone. And I get that back. All right. Now, one important thing is that there are the little rapid spaces. If the ship ever touches one of those, it will continue on until it is off of those spaces. So, got to be really careful with that. All right, on to the seismic events. Is an 11. So far, so good. No major events have come up. And it is back over to the characters' turns. So my archer is going to move up 1, 2. And then the ship will carry itself forward 2 spaces, and that'll get us this item. So let's see what we find. And we have a mine. So this is an automatic attack on a range of 1 to 3. And it does 2 damage, and it can be used in place of an action. It hits 1 monster, discard after use. So that's good. All right, so her turn, I think, is done at this point, which will take that off, as she didn't do that. So then it's over to Lenora. So she's going to go 1. Actually, I'm just not going to move, and I'll let it carry me forward 2, which is going to bring me in contact with that stage. So again, we have an item and a new monster. So this one is going to be a rock gill. This is going to use the circle. And this one has 6 hit points. All right. So this is going to be a little trickier to traverse here. So I think I'm going to move back 1, 2, 3, and then it carries me forward 2. So I'm just going to kind of pivot for now. And then that is my turn. So it's a 17, so no effect on the seismic event yet. So then it's going to go into its turn. It gets to move 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not quite at the ship, but it does have range and it can hit multiple targets. So it's only a +1, so it still needs to roll pretty well. At 10, that is not going to be enough, as that is 11 or, yeah, on the 15 and the 13. So the rock gill missed. And then for our characters, I'm going to go ahead and rock gill's armor is very low, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and move back 1, 2, 3, moves forward 2, so 1, 2. So I'm going to go ahead and do a dash. And I'm going to move down 1, which is going to carry me right on through to there. And put him behind us. All right, so that is my turn. So over to the other character to go. I will go ahead and move down 1, 2, and back 1. And then it's going to kick me forward 2, which will put me there. And I'm going to go ahead and do a spike sling. So this is a +1. It's a 2, so I'm going to miss on that. And then the enemy, well, first we have the seismic event, is a 16, so nothing there. And then it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 into its space, and it's going to attack both of us. It's a 6, so not enough for either one of those. All right, back over to our turns to go. I am going to move back 1, 2, 3, and then it kicks it forward 2. I'm going to go ahead and do the guided arrow and see if I get lucky here. It's a 6 plus 2 is 8, so I'm just short. Darn. Okay, so that is it for my character there. I'm going to go ahead and move back 1, and that's going to kick me forward 2, and now I'm lined up. I will go ahead and do the double slash to try to hit it. So the first one is an 18, that is a hit, and second one is a 14, so another successful hit on that. And it's still got 4 hit points left, so my turn is done. Over to seismic event is a 4, so no effect there, and then the rock gill is an 18, so it definitely hits us both on this one. Okay, back over to our characters. So Zen is going to 1, 2, 3, and it'll kick us forward 2. I'm going to go ahead and drop the mine. So it's a 1 to 3. So 1, 2, no, maybe not yet then, because I'm just a little too far away. And there's not much else I can do, so I'm just going to try to heal. Why not? It's an 18, so I am successful in healing, so I'm back up to 6, and no other effect there. And for my other character, I'm going to go ahead and move back 1, 2, 3, and it moves me forward 2. And I'm going to go ahead and attack with the sling. And a 4, so a miss again on the sling. She's just not very handy with that. All right, over to the seismic event. No effect. And it's going to move up a couple to be able to take full advantage of that. And a 10 plus 1 is not enough to get through our armor. So we're holding strong. back over to my archer. I'm going to back up 2 and move forward 2. So from there, then it's going to go ahead. She's going to shoot with her arrow again. Come on, arrow. 12, it's a hit. So 2 damage there. The question is... No, I think I'm going to hold on to it. I'll use those on the last enemy and really hopefully go and do some serious damage quick. All right, so the other character, again, I'm going to move back 2, which kicks it forward 2, lining me up. And I'm going to go ahead and do the double slash. So the first one is an 18, is a hit. Second one is a 14, another hit. So that enemy has been defeated. I am going to be, I think I was split between the 2 there. And that will take care of that. All right. So that enemy is gone. I have 1 enemy left, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward. Well, that is my turn. So seismic event, nothing. Back over to my character's turns. Move forward 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to kick me forward 3 or 2, which is going to put me there. I'm going to get another item, so I have an ore, so I can move the ship an additional 4 spaces at the end of your movement on any turn, or splinters apart after use. Okay, so then we're going to reveal. All right, we have our last item, and we have our last enemy, which is a Strave. So he is a little nastier, and he's going to have 5 hit points. All right, so it's going to go over to our turn, or to Lenara's turn. So I'm going to go ahead and go back 1, up 1. And I think I'm good there, so then it's going to move forward 2. I'm going to go ahead and drop the mine. So it's 1, 2, 3 spaces away, and it does an automatic 2 hits, and then it is considered an action, so that's going to put him down to 3, and that'll take care of the mine. So that's my turn. Then it's going to be over to seismic event 18, so holding strong there, and the monster is going to hit with a 17 plus 2. It is going to do 2 damage to both of us. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So it's back over to our turn. So I'm going to go ahead and move back 1 space. It's going to kick me forward 2 spaces, which is going to put the monster on top, which kicks it behind us. And I'm going to go ahead and do the arrow jab on a plus 2, which is exactly what I needed. So that's 1 point of damage there. And then, let's see, it's over to Lenara to go next. I am going to go ahead and move us back 1, which kicks it forward again. 2, 3. Now 2, and then I'm going to rotate it this way. And that will move the boat forward 2. And I'm going to go ahead and do that double slash. So first one is a 15, it's a hit. Second one is an 8, it's going to miss. I could pop the net doing a second attack of the same type immediately after the initial attack. I'm going to go ahead and try it. Why not? I'm going to get those again. So first one is a 9, and the second one is a 15. So that'll be enough to take care of it. All right, and that's the enemy. So then it's a turn sequence. It's a 4, so nothing there. And then it's back to us. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate 1 and move up 1. The boat's going to kick forward 2. For her turn, she's going to go ahead and do the dash to move up 1. Let's pick up that other item, which is a time stop. So it casts a spell, which completely skips the next turn, which isn't necessarily going to help us. So we did defeat all the enemies, and we revealed all the stage tiles. So now we get our reward. So this is open sea. The rushing waves of the river suddenly become silent as a powerful unseen force lowers the ship from the Ragra Falls. The ship lands softly in the open sea. You celebrate heartedly and rest for the night. Then set sail for Bloodthorn Island in the morning. All right, so that will finish that one off. So I'm going to go ahead and set up for the final act. All right, so let's move in and see what the third mission's all about. So this is Bloodthorn Island. The chill comes over you as you quietly set foot on the infamous Bloodthorn Island. You prepare to face the overgrown isle of deadly flora and the evil land serpent Lorgan, who eagerly seeks vengeance for his nephew Sorgan. All right, so from there, we're going to go ahead and set it up, and we have our stage here. And then from there, we have the other four, so I'm just going to go ahead and rotate. Let's go ahead and drop that down here and put those out. All right, so we just have to defeat Lorgan and any other monsters here to clear this one out. And each of our characters starts on their spaces, and we have our trusty boat in there. We docked it in. All right, so moving in, we are going to go ahead and start off with Zen. So she's going to move up 1, 2, and let's reveal this card. And we have an item there, a couple items, and a monster who's cut off, so he's going to have to travel all the way around. And let's see what we find. It is a Kraken, and it's going to have 7 hit points. And it's a little on the slower end, so hopefully we'll be able to get into some good positioning and do some good damage there. All right, so that was just 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go ahead and grab an item. So it's a harpoon. It's a range of 2 to 5. Use alone is only going to do 1 damage. With the stock and spring, it does 3. Use in place of an action, automatically hit 1 monster and discard after use. All right, so that's hers. I have 1 action or 1 movement point left, so I'm going to go ahead and go there. And I think that's probably good for her, as Lenara is a little bit farther back there, so I'm going to go ahead and move over to her turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move an additional 3. 1, 2, 3. And that'll end that. So now we're over to our events. It's an 18. Oof, that was close. Almost triggered that. And the monsters are going to move. So he's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And he can shoot through walls. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he could hit her. So actually, he could just stay right there and hit her. I totally missed that. So it's my fault. He is going to attack on an 11 plus 2 for 13. Not enough to get to her, though. So I lucked out on that one. Okay. So it's back over to us to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. And that's it. I think for her, I don't have quite enough range yet. So I might as well go ahead and do a dash. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so then it's over to my other character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's going to finish her off there, and I'm just going to hold there. So again, seismic event. It's a 5, so nothing there. And then the Kraken's going to move up and do its thing, and it misses on a 2. So it's going to actually flee 4 spaces. So that's as far as it can go. All right, so kicking back over to us, I'm going to go ahead and move in here to pick up that item. And I found a lockpick. So opens a lock and allows passage through 1 gate. Gate remains open once unlocked. Uses a free action when adjacent to a gate and discard after use. All right, so I have that, and I'm going to go ahead and continue moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I do have range. I'm going to use my guided arrow and try to hit this little thing. It's a 1, so it's a critical failure. So that's horrible. So I'm going to actually take a wound from that. I did something that shot my foot or something horrible. All right, so that is my turn. over to my other character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do have the sling, so I'm actually going to step over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm out of range. So where I was, 1, 2, so I could go back 1. So I could move down instead of going over. So I think I'll do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I do have range. So I'm going to go ahead and try the sling. And it's a 15, so it is a hit. So at least I do a damage there. Okay, so back to the Kraken. He's going to move up and try to hit her for that. But first I have to do the seismic event. It's a 12, so nothing there. And then his attack is a 9 plus 2, so not enough yet. So at least we've been lucky with that. So back over to Zen. She's going to move down and try to do her arrow jab for 1. She misses. And I'm going to move up 2, and I'm going to go ahead and try with Lenara to do the double slash. So first one is a 5, it's a miss. Second attack is a 7, which is also a miss. Our characters are not doing well. Seismic event is a 15, so nothing there. And then the Kraken's attack on her is a 16, so this time he does connect. So she's down to 3 hit points. All right, so I'm moving back over. I'm going to move back 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I do have range with the guided arrow. It's a 14, so it is a hit this time. So that's going to drop down to 4. And then Lenara is going to go into 2 additional spaces before an attack. So I could do that one. So it's a dive and slash. But I'm going to just move back 1, 2, 3 there. And I'll go ahead and do my sling again. And it's a 6. So it is going to be a miss on that as well. My characters are having a rough go of it here. 1, 2, 3, and attacking Lenara. First off, we have to do the seismic event. It's a 4-0, and then the Kraken is a 12. Plus 2 is a 14, so she is going, or the Kraken is going to hit. All right, so back over. I'm going to move down 2 and do the arrow jab. Is a 10 plus 2 is enough, so 1 point there. So I'll kick over there, and then it's over to Lenara. She's going to do the double slash again. And it's a 5 for a miss, and the 17, so that one is a hit. All right, seismic event is a 20, so each one of us is going to take 1. Oop, wrong way. And then the Kraken's going to attack. Is a 7, so it is going to be a miss. So Archer is having a rough go of it. She's going to move back 1, 2, 3, and take a shot with the guided arrow. Is a 10 plus 2 is enough. All right, so the Kraken at least has been eliminated. That was a rough enemy fight. And that is her turn. So I'm going to move over and reveal this one. So we've got another enemy here with 2 more treasures. So what do we have in store for this one? So there's Lorgan. So that is somebody we're going to have to handle really quick here. All right, so he's only got 4 hit points. So my first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I can do the spike slash. And it's 17, so it is a hit. So at least I do that. All right. With Lorgan, he is going to move down and attack. So he's a plus 3. And he rolls a 2. So he missed. And I also forgot to do the seismic event again. It's a 16. So, all right. So it's back to us. And she did that last time. So she's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And she'll do a dash to get up here and gain that item, which is going to be passage. So between barrels. Barrel Passage. All right, and she did her action, so she's going to keep moving over a little bit farther there. All right, so then it's back over to Lenara. She's going to go ahead and do her double slash. So first one is a 17, so it is a hit. And the second one, 20 would be fantastic. And it's a 9, so that is, second one is going to be a miss. So then it is a seismic event. 3, so no effect there. And the enemy is going to attack. A 14, so that is going to be a hit. So that's 3 damage on her. All right, so it is back over to our turns. I desperately need to take this guy out here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Keep collecting those things, hopefully to find something good. So there's a spring. That's a second piece that I need for this. And then I have my guided shot. This is going to be critical. I really need this to go off. It's a 6. It is a miss, unfortunately. Okay, so it is back over to Lenara. What to do? I am going to, and I don't have anything else. Lockpick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I could run and hope to live. Because that way he has a range of 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. I am out of range of him. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Spike Spring. Well, I'm going to move 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so on to the events. Is a 12, so it's nothing, and it's going to move. Actually, it doesn't need to move at all. It's going to go sit right there and attack. It's a 5, so it is going to run 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away. I got super lucky on that one. Okay, so it is back over to us to go. So one of these tiles does not have an enemy. Question is which one? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and reveal. It is not that one. All right, so we have that, and the enemy is a Bloodthorn. Can shoot through walls, so I'm going to need to stay away from that as well. Okay, so I'm going to drop that down here for the moment. And we have to get away from that. So I'm going to go back 1 space. And I'm going to go ahead and dash 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So from there, and I have to put that enemy up there. That's a triangle, and it's got 3 hit points. All right, so then Leonardo is going to, so I did the dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that's about all we can do. So the size of the event, no effect. 1, 2, 3. It's going to attack. It's a 19, so it definitely takes care of that. And Lenara is out. All right, so it's just down to these 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, here's the guided shot again. Guided arrow, come on. Come on. Guided arrow is a 12. Plus 2 is a 14, is enough to take care of Lorgan. So he is gone and was able to defeat him. All right, so I just got to figure out how to get around that little bugger and get in there and do some damage. All right, I've got 2 hit points left, so I should do a heal action at some point here. All right, so my turn is done, and it is on to the stage's turn. It's a 19, so it's another wound. That's not good. And that's it. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go ahead and reveal that. And there's that. Okay. So 4, 5, 6, and then I can use passage there with the dash. So 1, 2, 3. So that'll put me there. Onto the events. It's a 3. So I'm going to move in for 1, and I find the stock. All right, so I got everything I need for that. All right, so those 3 are what I need, and I can use lockpicks as a free action. All right, so I have everything I need to take care of the little bugger. I just got to get in there. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that'll put me there. Seismic event. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can go there without it being able to hit me. I want to try to heal. And I missed. And it's a seismic event. It's a 7, so I'm okay there. And he's actually going to be sitting right there for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which get me there. And be able to open up the gate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that using the lockpick. And then I'm going to go ahead and use these 3 as my action. And that's going to be able to deal 3 damage to it. Let me double check to make sure that's correct. Use with the stock and spring for 3 damage. And it has 3 damage, which is going to be enough to defeat it. Wow, that was close. And just out of curiosity, if it made it to that stage's turn, okay, good. I was like, if that comes up as another 20, that is crazy. All right, so I was able to just sneak away with a victory at 1 hit point left with her, and poor Lenara had given up her life to try to save or get past this island. So let's go ahead and reveal the card here. So the Scorpion. You lift the golden jeweled scorpion from the ground beside Lorgan and feel its power vibrating through your body. You slip it into your pockets for safekeeping back to Gorga. Well, and that's it. I was able to barely squeak by with 1 hit point left on one of my characters to win this mission. So I hope you found the video helpful in deciding whether or not this is one you want to back on Kickstarter. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please post those in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Or swing by the comment section in the Kickstarter page and drop any questions you have there as well. I'm sure the creator would love to hear from you and is more than happy to answer any questions you have. If you'd like to check out other videos in this series, I'll also have a link up in the top corner to that one if you would like to check that out and see what the previous game in the series is, and if that is one that you would like to pick up as well. Until next time, I'll see you later.